So fellas, in this video I'm going to be taking this client's 36 USD account to over 400 USD, and I actually traded 3 different instruments to reach that same amount, and those instruments are VIX 100S were actually sold and bought later in time, Jump 50 index and VIX 100 index. So watch the whole video to spot something new you can use to enter into your own trades. If you're watching this on TikTok and Facebook, you won't finish this video as a whole. So click this link if you're watching this on TikTok, click this link if you're watching this on Facebook, or go over to YouTube and type prime_fx, where you get to finish this video and also watch more complete videos. Let's get this video to over 400 likes. I know we can get to that number. Now let's get into analyzing. Okay, so we're starting with VIX 100S, and let me just go to the balance, the deposit. You can see 36 USD right there. So let's go over to the charts, and immediately I'm just gonna sell. I started by selling here because I think I had spotted the move, and I decided to enter 10 0.5 lot sizes, 10 of them. That's 0.5 times 10, which is 10. And yeah, I expected it to drop. It's actually quite powerful VIX 100 if you enter with 0.5 and that many positions. So yeah, I expected it to drop. Let me just remove the history and all the running trades, and we'll get to analyzing. So we start off from, let me start off from the bottom of this structure. We can see there's an upward movement that had happened right there, and right there we can see there is a break of structure in that range, and then it respected the rejection block on the weekly. So it respected the weekly rejection block, and then it went up to break structure, or sort of give us a change of character right above there. So when it returned back down, you can see now it respected the daily, and then from there it broke structure, and you can see there's just that uptrend structure that it built. And of course, I don't know if that's a stop hunt or a BOS, whatever you classify it, because there's something of like some rejection. So to me, it has to keep on shooting up on the weekly. You can see it right there. Now it respected that rejection block, and then that's when it made a huge powerful move up to break structure above that high. Now when we zoom out, we can get to see that price hit the weekly bearish order block, and currently right now it's reacting downwards. And if we go from the weekly chart to the daily, we can see that it corresponds by also hitting this daily bearish order block around the same level. So yeah, daily chart and also weekly, we can see right now we're currently bearish because we hit 2 major institutional interest points. So how did price approach these 2 interest points? Is it broke structure above that high on the 1 hour, and then it also broke structure. It continues to shoot up to break structure above there again before it finally hit the bearish daily order block and bearish weekly order block. So at the tippy top there, it gave us a shift in market structure and the change of character, and you can see it failed to break structure above that high because it respected the rejection block, and then immediately it dropped down to give us a break of structure, and we continue to see a series of BOSs within the range where, yeah, you can see there's that BOS right there. Then it dropped down to give us sort of, should I say, our final BOS right below the low there. Now this is interesting. I want you guys to listen to here. After it broke structure, it respected the 30-minute, or it's currently respecting the 30 minutes order block, and it's forming that structure because, yeah, it's also respected the rejection block. So it's forming the W pattern, which we all know it's sort of like yeah, there's a stop hunt. Anyway, right now, yeah, I classify it as a BOS, but it's sort of like a stop hunt. Then you can see it's giving us a sign that price wants to give us a change of character, and then after it gives us a change of character, it drops down to, you know, respect the 15-minute order block, and that's what it's doing. And above the 15-minute order block, the first one it respected is also another 15-minute order block, and right now it's so sweet. We can see it's a clean buy. According to the book of ICT and SMC, it's a buy, but I sold in the beginning of the video. You saw me selling. Now I know you guys are asking why, and when I zoom out on the 4 hour, I saw this pool of liquidity where you can see there's this trend line liquidity, and usually price likes to dip into there before it shoots up. And also down there's a pool of sell side liquidity. Now you can see the equal lows there, but I was still you know, wanting to buy, but I could see because there is a draw on liquidity below those lows, price might try to reach for either pools like the first trend liquidity or the pool down, like the pool of liquidity down those equal lows. So that's why I ended up selling. Now the reason I sold is because you see that change of character, once classified, it changes to a stop hunt, and then it hit the 30-minute order block. So now it's like your bias changes completely. You can now see a sell instead of a buy. That's what I saw as well. Like, wait a minute, this thing, if I zoom out, it might actually just reach for the sell side liquidity below that 30-minute or 50-minute low. And if I zoomed out again, earlier on I'd highlighted that it had hit the daily order block, the bearish one, and the weekly bearish order block. So yeah, I ended up changing my idea so that I sell, and after some time you can see this happened. Yeah, this was the initial. I think after some minutes it had actually sold quite a bit, where it managed to double, but then later on we can see we had finally sort of dipped into the pool of liquidity, the trend line liquidity that I had marked out, and it had gone as I had said. Maybe this from experience, I don't know, but yeah, I could see like it wasn't going to buy. So yeah, around this time we went from 36 USD to like 150 something in our balance. So we're up 120 USD profits. That's a huge profit margin. And yeah, I decided to close, and we have to look for another trade, and the next trade we'll be going to is Jump 50 index. Now we're continuing with our balance, which is at 159 USD, and yeah, let's go to the charts on Jump 50 index. We're starting off on a big time frame. We're starting off from a, let me first start off on a daily and highlight the breakout structure below the low. We can see price shot down and broke structure below the low, and then it kept on shooting down to give us this nice beautiful liquidity grab. And you can see immediately after it grabbed liquidity, it made a huge rejection move upwards, and I think it's mainly because it was reacting off of the rejection block on the monthly. So yeah, I hit the monthly rejection block and it had a beautiful reaction off of it. And to my analysis, I think maybe it might keep on shooting up later on. Maybe this is a higher time frame analysis, maybe it might drop down later on. So on the 4 hour, we can see there's a break of structure within that range, and after it broke structure, it filled the imbalance, and after it filled the imbalance, you can nicely see that, you know, it hit the 4 hour order block. So it reacted off of the 4 hour order block, and inside that upward movement. There's a wipe, of course. It first wiped and then it broke structure above that high and then continued to move up. So yeah, we're trying to capture a buy. Basically, it respected the 1 hour order block, and we can see, because we're trying to capture a buy, you can see there's a nice bullish institutional order flow here. It's reacting off of the monthly rejection block, so we might as well just keep on buying with it. So now it kept on, just shooting up, breaking structure above there, and it continued to shoot up. And right now I want to just highlight the buy side liquidity that's waiting for us there. So that's another reason why I want to buy, and also the imbalance or inefficiency that's right above the buy side liquidity. So price just wants to feel the imbalance or inefficiency right there, and then maybe it will drop down, and that's according to my analysis. So yeah, we have to now look deeper. We can see price reacted off of that rejection block on the 4 hour. So there's a reaction off of the 4 hour rejection block, and then it shot up, because inside the rejection block is also the 1 hour order block. So yeah, after it hit those 2 interest points, it then shot up, and now it's going to drop back down, and we'll try to find some way to capture our buy there. So let's look at how it reacted at the rejection block and the 1 hour order block. So price gave us a stop hunt, and then it gave us a break of structure. So when it returns back down, we best believe we're going to buy around the bullish order blocks that were created during that reaction. So that's our 30-minute order block right there, and that's probably that's the area we're going to be buying at, because there's also another rejection block. So price to me right now, according to my analysis, yes, there's also that 30-minute order block right below the rejection block. On jump 50, it's price to me on jump 50, it's been reacting off of the rejection blocks. Like it reacted off that monthly rejection block, it reacted off of the 4 hour rejection block, and now I'm also trusting that it will react off of the 30-minute rejection block. That's where we're currently at, and I kept it simple. I didn't try to go in deeper and searching where exactly, pinpoint off of the 30-minute, 15-minute, and 5-minute. I just saw a rejection block and thought to myself, it's been reacting off of the rejection block. Maybe that's what jump 50 likes or usually does. This is a repeated patterns that jump 50 usually does, and that's when I started to place my buys. I made sure that I entered I entered quite aggressive there, and of course I was watching it like a hawk, because I didn't want to blow this account. So yeah, from this 150 something, we have to see what happens afterwards. All right, so I think quite some minute has passed. It reacted as soon as we entered. It kept on shooting up, but it had not shot up the way we wanted to. Remember, I think around this time it was 9. I thought I would sleep on it on the trade, but before I slept on it, I decided, okay, we're 100 USD in profit, but I do not want to blow this account, so let me place my stop losses. So I decided to place stop losses on each and every trade. I don't know if I showed it here, and after I placed the stop losses, later on it dropped down to hit the stop loss. I didn't show it. I think I did it off screen. I didn't screen record it. So it dropped down and then it hit. I placed it on break even straight up. So yeah, we dropped down from 260 something back down to 150 something, so it was 155. So we had lost how much we lost, like 5 USD. But yeah, it is what it is. We move on, and the next trade we'll be taking is on VIX 100S again, but this time it's a buy. Okay, so on to VIX 100S again. I think after, okay, yeah, we're at 155 by the way, and yeah, I think after we exited, it didn't keep on dropping down. It like grabbed partially of the liquidity below there, and then it shot up. So yeah, it broke structure, we broke structure with it, and then it just dipped down into like the trainer liquidity that I thought it will continue to drop down into, but then it just sort of like grabbed liquidity there, and then it now reversed. So it sort of did a liquidity grab below that low, and then it just suddenly reversed back up. And when I saw this, I was like, yeah, did it react off of the 1 hour? It had not reacted off of the 1 hour, and I thought to myself, why is it shooting up there for? And yeah, after price broke structure, it had reversed, and then it broke structure there. It continued to respect the 1 hour order block. So yeah, it's sort of like it's shifting, it's now respecting bullish interest points, and then it broke structure above that high. So now my what I was started thinking is, why is it shooting up there? And I will show you guys why. So price gave us a stop hunt below that low, and then it went up to break structure above that high. So probably right now it's going to respect or react off of the, should I say, mitigation block there into the buy side liquidity above that high. And above that buy side liquidity, we can get a clear view of why price might shoot up there. And the reason is because there's sort of like an inefficiency there, and it has to be filled. So basically there's an imbalance right above that high, and that's where I knew price has to reach into. And then probably if it wants to continue shooting downwards, it has to react off of the OB above the imbalance, or that's connected to the imbalance. So yeah, I think you guys get the idea. Price has to shoot up, and then after it shoots up, it has to respect the 30-minute order block right above the imbalance. So it's a simple explanation as to why price is, you know, buying up. And the real question now is, am I going to buy or sell later on? And I thought to myself, I think buying with it into the imbalance is better than selling it later, because now it's not continuing to drop down as we had predicted initially. So it's better that we buy into the imbalance, because we're now sure that it has to shoot up there, and then, you know, rebalance that imbalance, and then probably if it wants to shoot down, it will shoot down. And yeah, I was sure of the buy more than the sell, so I decided to pack powerful buys this time. I think 10 one lot sizes, so we'll see what happens afterwards. Now afterwards, it didn't shoot up immediately after I bought. It dropped down, it almost squeezed us, and now this is the first time we were in some blues. So immediately after we sold, we went into a huge ton of losses, and after some time now we could see some, you know, good profits that had arisen from the buy. So yeah, around this time we're around, how much in profit was it? 200 USD in profit. Yeah, 193 USD in profit. That was good. That was some good amount of profit, and I don't actually have the patience, so I decided to close right now because I think I'd hit my target for this trade, and I decided to exit before it completely filled the imbalance. What if it does not fill the imbalance? What if it just, that's what I was thinking, like what if it just, you know, partially fills it and then it continues to drop downwards? And I wasn't actually confident in the sell as well, so I decided not to take the sell. So yeah, we're around 300 and something USD in profits. The next trade we'll be taking is on VIX 100 index. Okay, so this is our last trade, and that's on VIX 100 index. And you guys know that VIX 100 does not play around. It's actually quite powerful. Now, reminder, we're at 345 USD in our balance. So yeah, it's actually quite a huge growth from 36 USD. So let's start the analysis, and we're gonna start with the BOS below that low. So price dropped down below the low, and it managed to drop down to give us a wipe below that weekly low. And after that wipe, it's more of a liquidity grab. It decided to shoot back into the range, and it gave us again a liquidity grab above that high. So it went from wiping down there to giving us a wipe again above that high, where it hit the daily order block. As you can see, if I stretch it out right now, price just reacted off of it and then dropped down, and we're currently inside the reaction off of the daily bearish order block. So it's either I think it's obvious that we have to continue selling with it. Now on our left, I think I tried to, like, you know, stretch it out and see if it hit the 4-hour order block, but yeah, it had not quite reached up there. I think it only managed to hit the daily order block, the big one, and then it couldn't, you know, poke into the 4-hour. So yeah, it gave us a stop hunt above that high, and then of course it failed to continue shooting up from there. Like, it gave us sort of like a shift in market structure. Price now just wants to shoot down, so go into this knowing that we want to sell. So price gave us another wipe above there, and then yeah, of course drop down to give us a BOS, or should I call it like a change of character. Went up to respect the 1-hour bearish order block, and specifically the rejection block off of the 1 hour, and then it continued to drop down to give us a break of structure. So yeah, we're dropping down, and it dropped down to break structure below that main low right there, and now we have a sort of a concrete analysis that we want to drop down with it. Now price is raiding that high right now, and it's going to react off of the bearish 1-hour order block. That's the analysis right there. It's fast. If you didn't get it, repeat it and just watch it. You don't even have to listen to what I'm saying, because I'm speaking too fast and you might not actually get it. So yeah, right now we're reading that high, and specifically I think we have to sell at the 5-minute order block. So from the 30-minute order block that's above that high we're currently reading, inside there is the 5-minute order block, and that's where we're going to be selling and dropping down with it. And at this point it wasn't late. I was planning to hold this thing, guys. Let me explain myself. So no, I'll explain it after. We're at 345 USD. I decided to just pack my sells right there. I decided to I think I placed about 10 0.5 lot sizes, and yeah, VIX 100 is quite powerful, so I decided to place stop losses again. I risked about 200 USD. Yeah, and we have to see what happens after this. Okay, so this is after some few minutes or some few hours after we had gotten tapped into the market, and we're actually in some pretty good amount of profits, from like 340 something to like 400 and something. That's 100 USD in profits. That's some good amount of profits. And at this time I was planning to continue holding this trade, but then I could see the non-responsiveness from the client. So the client I was actually working with, she wasn't being responsive at all. I think the last time we had talked was like more than 5 days ago. So since she gave me the account, it had been a week and she wasn't responsive at all. I could try to contact her and tell her like, yo, I think I had reached like 100 and something, 300, should we withdraw? But she was not being responsive. So around this time, it wasn't motivating enough for me to continue growing this account. You never know what her intentions were. So I decided, let me just close and then wait on her to respond back. So I couldn't continue holding this trade. I decided to close at 102 USD, and yeah, from 340 something to 451 USD. Yeah, that's basically it. From 36 USD we managed to get it to 456 USD. Yeah, and it kind of hurts that later on price dropped nicely. You can see from the sell there. I think I should have just held, for the sake of it, but yeah, later on it continued to drop down. And yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe if you haven't, or see you guys in the next video.